What's up, everyone? I'm Janine the Alchemist, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another episode of Show and Tell. I'm just now getting ready to head out to go and speak to this episode's guest, but first I wanted to show you this week's little artifact that I've brought. It's just a little scuba diver man or a spaceman. I've never been entirely sure. I think he's a scuba diver man because of his little tank back here. But anyway, I got him when I still do, but I used to make jewelry a lot more and get charms, and I used to like to make little trinket gifts for people. I still like to, but I haven't had the time lately. And he's broken now, but he used to be a little charm, and I couldn't bring myself to get rid of him for many years because, I don't know, he kind of just reminds me to dive deep. And if he's a spaceman, I don't know, when I was a kid, somebody called me a space cadet, and it really hurt my feelings. But he kind of gives it a different meaning, just to kind of have an adventurous, explorative mindset. Even if I'm eccentric and dreamy and maybe do things out of the ordinary sometimes, it's okay to... it just makes me feel like less alone in exploring unexplored territory, or diving deeper than I would have, or reaching new heights of the unknown. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Let's head over. I can't wait. Just got here, but I gotta finish this song. I just gotta hype myself up for some stuff. I was a king under your control. Let go, let go, let go of everything. Let go of everything. I was just thinking about what a privilege it is and what an honor it is to be able to explore the unknown. So I'm super hyped. I'm gonna go find somewhere else to park, but I really want to film this cute little heart right here. Okay, we're here. We just did the sound check and we're getting everything going. We're here at Haus of 𝑠𝑘IN with Tiffany. Tiffany is the licensed esthetician and owner of Haus of 𝑠𝑘IN. They do all kinds of events here, like yoga retreats, and she does lymphatic massage, and I heard about sugaring, which I'm actually very interested in. And Tiffany's love language is, one of her favorites is acts of service, which really speaks to me a lot too. I can really tell that, by the way, I can really tell I can tell that your love language is acts of service. I can tell by all the events, and mainly the feeling I get when I'm here. Here, let me take my headphones off. I don't know how many times we've talked before. Tiffany and I have met, obviously, and we've in the short couple of conversations we've had, I felt that they were very deep, and I felt very connected. Mm-hmm. I've been teaching yoga for like 13 years, and have been part of different communities, and what I've noticed about what you have here is it's very genuine and very comfortable and safe. And before I let you talk, I just wanted to sing your praises here because I really do appreciate the space that you create. I noticed that you had a teacher training. I love my teacher trainings and my teachers. I think that it's important to say thank you to your teachers, but I just want to say that it's a very unique and supportive community that you build here. It feels really safe, and like I could be held, and like I could thrive in this sort of community. And so I'm excited to share you with the internet. So I guess I wanted to say I brought you here to Show and Tell to answer our big question, but first I was curious if you could share a little bit of your story, introduce yourself a little bit.
How I actually got into my line of work is interesting because I was working as a pharmacy technician, and I was just really unbelievably unhappy with what I was doing in my life. I feel like I had limited to no patience at home with my children. I literally worked went to bed, parented my children, went to bed. Like, it was just this constant cycle. And one day I was having coffee with a girlfriend, and she said, oh, I have to run to go pay the tuition for my school. I'm going to start school soon, and did you want to just take a quick drive with me? I said, okay. So I drove with her to the school, and, you know, I was bored waiting for her, so while I was there, I took a tour. And when I realized, oh my gosh, this is all the things that I like really want to do, was it was an aesthetic school. I had struggled over my teenage and adulthood years with bad acne. So I had really like low confidence when it came to my own skin. So I always wore makeup. I just, you know, wasn't comfortable being seen in the raw, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I went home, I thought about it for like a week, and then I signed up for school. And, you know, it was a tough transition at the time. My partner at the time had a bigger responsibility to carry the burden of the financial bills and responsibilities. And then beginning at the bottom, right? I think I took like a $25 an hour pay cut when I first began in the industry, because I worked for someone. And so she was kind enough to give me clients, but also I had to pay commission on those clients. So I worked really hard to build my own clientele and, you know, learned how to market and use the free tools that we have available to us, like social media. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, you know what? I could do this. I could definitely do this on my own. At the time, the person I was working for, I had built myself up. I was getting comfortable in what I was doing with her. And she was older. She said, I want to work less. I don't want to work 5 days a week. And so she said, you can see if you can rent a space here at the existing salon that we're at on the opposite days, or you can work less like me, or you can go out on your own. And so I just was like, okay, well, I don't want to work less. I'm just getting started. And so I went out to go find a space of my own, and I did. And I was there for about almost 2 years. And then I had this idea in my head of like a micro mini wellness center is what I wanted to create. And I wanted to collaborate with other people who shared a similar or same vision, almost like making this just like a hub, right? Like a center for wellness, but like run your own business through this center, but also have share in community.
So it's like some independence, yeah. But then you're in a community. I can feel that. I really definitely. I think you achieve that for sure.
At the time when I first came into the space, I just was a licensed esthetician, and I was also a certified lymphatic drainage specialist. So I offer skincare services, hair removal through waxing or sugaring, which we just had a little bit of a conversation about. And then I offer a lymphatic drainage massage service. So lymphatic drainage massage is really good for anyone, to be honest. It's good for like overall whole body wellness, but it's really beneficial for people who are going to have surgery and then post-surgical procedure. Also, it's like really beneficial for healing time. A lot of people come in, you know, after having had like a plastic surgery procedure, like a tummy tuck or liposuction, or sometimes having to have reconstructive surgery from maybe having like cancer, so like a mastectomy or things like that. And so it's really beneficial for the healing process. And then overall, for overall health, it's really beneficial for overall health because it aids in the detoxification process. So the lymphatic system is the heart of our body's immune system. And so it's responsible for picking up toxins and waste throughout the body and then delivering it to the excretory system so it can be passed through. And sometimes our systems become overburdened and congested just through like normal everyday life. You know, we consume foods that unfortunately have dyes and so many chemicals in them, or we're using body products, lotions, soaps, cleaning agents that are not good for us either, and so our system can become overloaded. I've also worked with several clients lately who have breast implant illness. And
I've heard of that. So is it actually very common?
It's a lot more common than I think that they're understanding. And it's unfortunate because a lot of these people are explaining symptoms for years and years and really being brushed off because the doctor doesn't have an answer, and they're not realizing that it could be a toxic overload on the body's systems overall. Mm. So I've had a couple of clients who have had explants, and we work together to help the body heal itself through lymphatic drainage massage. So it's really interesting how we really do have everything that we need to like self-mend, you know?
Yeah.
To take care, like to fix a problem.
I believe that. Mm. I used to think, you know, how everybody thinks that you just decline after you're 24.
Right.
And when I learned more about the body, and I feel the healthiest and most vital that I've ever been right now. Like, my birthday's next week. I'll be 32.
Oh, yay.
But I feel like I definitely believe the body heals.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm guessing that this is what happened, but have you heard of, like, the second puberty? They call it now.
No.
Well, you know, like you have puberty and then you become an adult and then your body changes again.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you break out and then you look different after, like maybe in your late 20s, 30s time. They call that second puberty now. I feel that I went through that, or maybe I am going through it now, but I started to break out. It also could be related to pregnancy, but that's when I started doing, I don't know how to pronounce it, gua sha. I started doing that, and I noticed a massive difference. All of the acne went away. My scarring went away. I used to oil cleanse my skin, and that's kind of how that was my gateway into it.
Yeah, it's really helpful. There's so many there's so many reasons to why your skin probably healed itself through the gua sha. Just hydration of fascial tissue, healthy lymphatic flow, microcirculation, blood flow, oxygenation of cells. Like, we don't touch ourselves, like our faces, enough. You know, a lot of people who have come in for a facial are like blown away at how good it feels to have a facial massage. And I'm like, why are we not doing this at home? It's like such easy tools just right here within our reach. Like facial massage, gua sha, it's really beneficial for healing of different things. You know, if you have inflamed acne, it's probably not such a good idea. Or if there's like broken skin, you know, if the person has maybe like a picking excoriation, like a picking issue, I wouldn't do it over broken skin. But for the most part, it's really helpful. Absolutely.
Well, I love hearing your feedback on it because I was curious. I was coming to ask you. When you reached out, I got really excited. I have never had a lymphatic massage, but facial massage it feels, I mean, especially if you're stressed, you know, and we carry a lot of stress in our face.
Absolutely.
So I may be calling you about that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
For sure. Just to touch on your second puberty, there is something to that. It's definitely hormone related. So, you know, the same way that the body has chakras and then chakra cycles, right? So like years 0 to 7, and then you move forward and it's like 14 to 28, and then you move forward. So like each chakra, you start from like root, right? And then you move and you cycle through. Our hormones do the exact same thing. So from like 0 to 7, there's one fluctuation, and then things change. And then 7 to 14, things change. And then from 14 to 28, things change. And so if you have baby in that time, then there's another change. So it's just very common I don't think people, like, there isn't a clear understanding of the hormonal cycle. And so when people think, like, well, I don't understand, I had great skin in high school, but now, you know, I'm like an adult and I'm having adult acne, and it's the hormone cycle. And then if you add on top of your hormones things that disrupt your hormones, so perhaps someone's using birth control, perhaps there's processed foods they're eating, perhaps, you know, there's chemical agents or sunscreens that you're using that have like hormone disrupting chemical ingredients in them. It's like, not only do our bodies have our own cycles, but then we're adding the things on top of it. We're all mostly just doing our best. And so if you can remove something that is going to disrupt your hormones, do it.
Yeah.
You know, if it's something that's like going to drastically change the quality of your life, you have to obviously like discern, you know, like how important is this to me? And then move from there. I think the same can be said of all things, right?
Yeah.
Diet, social media consumption, whatever it may be. How hard is this going to be, and like, do I want to stick through that?
I feel you there.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you're doing. Yeah, like, especially as a doula, you know, we're always talking about different methods of birth control after the fact. Mm-hmm. You gotta weigh the factors. Of course, that's gonna be, you know, pros and cons for a major change.
Totally.
But I mean, different things for different people. Like with sunscreen, I mean, those are different risks.
Yeah, totally. It's like, I mean, just anything though. Like, there are so many sunscreens available out on the market. Like, could you make a conscious choice to pick a sunscreen that lacks an ingredient that might hurt you? Mm-hmm. Totally. You know, like, it's like we have so many choices. Yeah. You know, like, maybe there's foods, or for lack of a better comparison, when the teenagers want the Sephora crap. Yeah. It's like, can you not go to a licensed professional who's going to provide you quality products for your child or yourself around the same price? Exactly. It's not going to be mainstream. Like, they're not going to have the clout of like having the Kylie skincare. I don't know. I don't really follow the trends.
I know. I don't know what's popular.
Yeah, right, I'm not really sure either. But the thing, like, all I'm getting at is like the competition, the comparison, and can you make a better choice, right? Like, maybe it's not the name brand of whatever, but the ingredients are different, and so can I make a better choice?
I'm always thinking about this. I tried to go minimalist. I would say that I feel more comfort in a maximalist style. I learned through that process. I'm not a maximalist, but I'm saying like the style of having clutter. Right. So I'm going to say I'm not a minimalist anymore, but when I was trying to figure out more sustainable ways to dress, and I definitely would make sometimes compromises with kids' clothes. Like, okay, they're still going to get clothes from Target. Right. But I try to thrift this whole outfit's thrifted. Yeah. These are from Aldo.
You know, I honestly, for myself, like, and this is just like a personal preference, you know, obviously, like, I don't love shopping. It gives me so much emotional distress. I feel very overwhelmed. So I prefer, like, when friends call me and say, I have a bag of clothes for you, and I'm like, oh, yes, because I hate shopping. And also, the fashion industry is like a huge amount of waste. So, like, if I can...
You mean like the bags of clothes? You mean like physical waste?
All of it. Yeah. Just everything. Like, bags of clothes, materials, like, things get thrown out. You know, it's awful. It's people, the excessive, like, $8 shirts that are purchased off of, like, a Shein and then thrown away because it's, like, ripped now.
Yeah, like the Temu tops.
Yeah. So, like, if there's just, like, one thing that I can do, why not? You know, and I really don't like shopping anyway, so it's fine.
We're kind of aligned there. I like shopping, but I like to get secondhand. It's like Christmas when a friend brings over a bag of clothes.
Yeah, I'll go into like a thrift store. I'll do that for sure. I mean, I enjoy that, but my daughters want to just go shop, and I'm like, no, it's not for me.
So this whole conversation is bringing me into, I'm curious about what you have to share at Show and Tell. So I like to ask everyone the question, what does sacred mean to you? Of course, it means something different to different people. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just good to have a dialogue about this subject, and I'm curious about it. I like to learn more about people and their motivation. So
when I think of the word sacred, I think personal, private, mine, something that I'm experiencing or doing. My relationships are mine. They're private, they're personal, they are sacred to me. And I think it's interesting because I don't know what it means to other people. And so when I think of what it means to me, and then I think of like how people live life these days, it's interesting, like just all out, right? Like putting everything on social media or like recording their life and putting it on TV. I don't know, just anything that wouldn't have happened even if we had this technology back in, I don't know, let's say like the 30s. I don't really think that it would still be like that, because I think that people's perception of like what am I trying to say?
Like there's so much perceiving.
Yeah. It's like so much worry about what other people are thinking, that
Yes.
things are more personal and private. And like, if you remove the worry of what other people are thinking, it still is personal and private. How I get up in the morning and like live my morning routine is like ritualistic. It's sacred to me. But like, do I want to welcome my whole neighborhood into my house to enjoy it? No.
I feel what you're saying.
Yeah. So like, it's, for me, pair the two together. It's less about like what observations others can make of me and more about like holding something like close. You know, like not all things are to be shared, I think. And so when I think of the word sacred, I think of the word mine.
Mine and personal. It's really like relevant right now. We're even on social media right now.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's not for everyone to perceive and to look at. It's like what you are just observing, your personal time,
right,
in your ritual in the morning.
Yeah.
She's spitting facts, people.
Okay, well, we were saying
nothing's sacred anymore.
Yeah, so like if we're talking about sacred based off of my opinion of what sacred is, right? Like my definition, nothing is sacred anymore. Everything is shared, like, and also like expected. Well, like, why didn't you tell me?
You're right.
What do you mean, why didn't I tell you? Or if I say, someone invites me to do something and I say no, that's a complete sentence. Why must I say, because I have this obligation, I want to do this, I don't want to do this? Why? I don't owe that to anybody. Like, my business is my business. Period. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's not about me wanting to only like show the positive things. It's about me wanting everything to do with me to be private, personal, and sacred. I might put the things on the internet, but that's by my choice.
That's because you want to.
Because I want to. Not because someone else is like, well, why didn't you? No.
It's resonating because if you think about like the body as a temple, our body is really all that we actually have. So I don't disagree with you at all.
Yeah.
Especially we have phones now. People can text you all the time. But that's not natural, and that's not, we used to be able to be alone and not answer to someone every moment of the day.
Or like having the anticipation of like getting to see someone. Instead of like, why didn't you answer me? You know,
Yeah.
like I recall in high school, in junior high, in elementary school, there were phones, right? But like at a different capacity. There's like a big old brick in the car, like a cord wrapped to it, you know, like hello.
I would leave it behind too. Oh,
Yeah.
you're saying like the hookup
Like the
ones.
hook, like
Yeah.
they would plug like okay, I'm really dating myself right now because I'm 30, so I'm 38. So when I was a kid, my papa would pick me up from school and he'd be on the phone, and the phone, it was like a brick, and it was in the center of the car, and it was connected through the cigarette lighter.
Oh,
But-
yeah, those.
But then, like, it had a real cord connected to the base, to the handset. So, like, he would, like, pick it up, like, hello? And that was, like, the phones that we had around when I was young, you know? And so I recall going to school, writing notes, like, I'm going to give this note to my friend. Like, I didn't get to see my friend, you know? Or, like, also having chaos and then getting to go home and be away from those people, and then like coming back and things have settled. Now I watch my kids, and you know, the other day I told my daughter, you need to put we were here, and I said, you have homework to do. I said, the entire time we're here, we'll be here no longer than 1 hour and a half. I said, you are not allowed to get on your phone. Not because she was in trouble.
Just for
And that's
like the...
just for like, get off the phone, right? Like, the friends are texting, and it's like, I catch myself as an adult doing this, where it's like, I'm not answering you right now, and sometimes I'll take it a little too far, and I'll forget that the people have messaged me, and I'm like, oh shoot, like, I need to get up in there and respond. But it's like, because society has made it normal to have direct access to people, that's what we have to live by. No. So my teenagers, I watch them, and it's like, they're just like on the phone, like rapid firing with the fingers. And I'm like, ugh, what's happening? Oh, nothing. I'm just talking. Right. We take all of that energy in. Like, to me, that has an anxious note to it, right? Like, oh my God, let me respond right away.
It is anxious.
Yeah.
And you're in what you said earlier, you're not even thinking. You don't,
No.
you make, before you know it, you made the mistakes.
Yeah, and you're like done, and you're like, oh gosh, what have I done already? Time is sacred, right? Like, we can't get it back. So I had said put it down, and she didn't like that very much, but her energy from getting here and then leaving was two completely different kids. She was relaxed, calm, like she had been reading. She was just like laying in the other room with a blanket. And then when we first got here, it was very like high strung, just like, you know, well, I need to answer so and so. And it's like, no, you don't. And then what did I do wrong? And it's like, no, nothing.
No, you're not in trouble. That's so
Like,
funny that we
just
think it's in trouble.
Put it down. Like, I just don't want you on it. It's too much. But like when I was a kid, it was just like not allowed on TV. Like the profanity, right? Like rated R movies, they would still cut, like they would censor and edit parts of the movie out because like you can't show it on TV.
I hadn't considered that because
Yeah.
by the time I was, we had Adult Swim.
Adult Swim,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I've been scrolling before, and then all of a sudden it's some like woman bouncing her butt in the thing, and I'm like, what am I looking at?
No, because now what is it, like capitalism and marketing has also, it's not just fun, it's also marketing.
Marketing, right?
And then it's turning individual, which I like that we can individually develop ourselves and
Yeah,
have some autonomy with that, but you're also individually all making money for the meta.
right.
For me, growing up, the worst thing I could have been was fat, like in the society that I'm sure everybody kind of relates, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
So there's just so much coming at us from different directions that I just so appreciate a more holistic and mindful approach to health and confidence that is more healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even for me, like, I say this all the time, when people come in, if they've had, like, reconstructive procedures, or if they've had, like, fillers, Botox, plastic surgery done to alter their appearance or make a change, I think ultimately at the end of the day, you are you. right? Like you are in your mind, your body, your spirit, and if you're not comfortable with how you appear to yourself in the mirror and there's something that you can do about it, by all means, like, do it if it calls to you. You know, like, I'm not here to make a judgment. I'm just here to provide information and then allow people to discern, right? Like, what do I want to do for me? And I'm as human as the next individual, right? Sure, there are things about me that vain things, right? Like, eventually I am waiting as long as I can possibly wait for my own self before I do like fillers or Botox or things like that, especially with my information of like what I know about fillers, about even just like tattoos and the lymphatic system. Like, tattoo ink never leaves the body, ever. So that's like a toxic chemical in your body. And there are plenty of different types, styles, things that are better for you. But the fact of the matter is it doesn't leave, right? They're finding that to be true of fillers as well. So like, I'm just like waiting as long as I can, and then I'm sure I might end up getting like Botox or fillers at one point in my life.
I'm trying to do the same. I'm trying to just wait as long as I can.
As long as I can, but like, I'm also not going to beat myself up about it if I make a decision for myself. Like, we have one life, and I live as best as I can, but like, if I have a hot Cheeto, I'm not gonna like beat myself up about it. But am I going to enjoy what I want when I want it? Sure. Like,
it sounds like what matters then is like just how the consideration that you take with the choices.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that to be true.
So again, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for showing us your space. You can find Tiffany on, I'm going to have her links below, and you can find her on Instagram. Do you have a TikTok? I think I saw you did.
I do have a TikTok.
Do you post?
I'm not very good about posting, but like, we'll work on that.
So we'll put all of our links to all of her places down below, the link to her services. Thanks again for coming down to the channel. Like this video if you liked it so that I can know what you guys want to see more of, and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. And you want to give me a smile? It's Tiffany.